end of an era, the fall of the Roman Empire, that stretched from the windswept shores of Britain to the sun-drenched deserts of Egypt, from the sands of Mesopotamia to the misty forests of Gaul. The Roman Empire, the most powerful civilization the world had ever seen, ruled for over 1,000 years. Yet in 476 AD, it collapsed in a manner that shocked the ancient world. How did this mighty empire fall? Let's dive deeper into the causes, events, and key moments that led to the end of the Roman Empire. At the height of its power, the Roman Empire was a marvel of military, political, and engineering genius. Its legions were unmatched in their discipline and tactics. Its roads and aqueducts were wonders of engineering, and its governance, although not perfect, set the stage for modern political systems. However, even the mightiest of empires are not immune to decay. The Roman Empire's golden age began with the Pax Romana under Augustus, and it flourished under emperors like Trajan, who expanded Rome's borders to their greatest extent. Its military was the backbone of its strength, and its system of governance, although not always stable, allowed for unprecedented growth and prosperity. The Roman Empire had a profound influence on the world, shaping language, law, architecture, and culture in ways that are still felt today. Yet, this was only one side of the story. As time passed, the internal structure of the empire began to weaken. Political instability became a hallmark of Roman governance, especially after the reign of Marcus Aurelius. The Year of the Five Emperors in 193 AD, when 5 different men claimed the imperial throne, signaled the beginning of a period of turbulence. The imperial office, once a symbol of strength and stability, was now increasingly associated with violence, corruption, and succession crises. Emperors such as Nero and Caligula epitomized the excesses and instability that plagued Rome in its later years. Political corruption spread throughout the empire, and the Senate, once an important institution, lost its influence, while the empire's political structure became more reliant on powerful generals and military influence. As the empire faced internal turmoil, its economic foundation began to crumble. Once the strongest economy in the world, the Roman system began to show signs of weakness. Heavy taxation, rampant inflation, and an over-reliance on slave labor contributed to the empire's economic decline. The rich grew richer, while the common people struggled with increasingly oppressive taxes. The disruption of trade routes, especially as external threats grew, further destabilized the economy. Meanwhile, the empire's massive size, stretching across Europe, Africa, and Asia, made it nearly impossible to manage effectively. The empire was being slowly pulled apart by the weight of its own borders. Alongside these internal problems, the rise of Christianity played a significant role in shaping the future of the empire. Under Emperor Constantine, Christianity went from being a persecuted religion to the state religion of the Roman Empire. Constantine's conversion and the Edict of Milan in 313 AD marked a pivotal shift in the empire's religious landscape. The adoption of Christianity slowly undermined the traditional Roman religious practices, and the empire's moral and cultural foundation began to change. The division between pagans and Christians created internal rifts, and the new Christian elite began to rise to power, replacing the old pagan aristocracy. This transformation contributed to the fragmentation of Roman identity. Meanwhile, external threats were growing ever stronger. Barbarian tribes from beyond the empire's borders began to press in on Rome's weakened frontiers. The Huns, under Attila, sent shockwaves across Europe, and the Goths, Vandals, and Franks began to encroach on Roman territory. The empire's military, once invincible, began to suffer under the weight of these invasions. The Roman legions, which had once been the pride of Rome, could no longer hold back the tide of barbarian invasions. The empire increasingly relied on mercenaries to defend its borders, but these soldiers, often more loyal to their paymasters than to the empire itself, were no match for the onslaught. The Battle of Adrianople in 378 AD was a key turning point, where the Roman legions were decisively defeated by the Visigoths. This loss exposed the vulnerabilities of the Roman military and marked the beginning of a series of barbarian invasions that would shake the empire to its core. In 410 AD, the Visigoth king Alaric sacked the city of Rome, an event that symbolized the empire's crumbling power. For centuries, Rome had been seen as an invincible city, but now it lay in ruins. This was followed by the Vandals sacking Rome in 455 AD, further demonstrating the empire's inability to defend itself. Finally, in 476 AD, the last Roman Empire, the fall of the Roman Empire was not caused by a single event, but rather by a combination of internal decay, external pressures, economic instability, and cultural transformation. Each factor contributed to the weakening of Rome, and by the time of its collapse, the empire was already a shadow of its former self. The consequences of this collapse were far-reaching, as it plunged Europe into the Dark Ages, a time of political fragmentation, economic stagnation, and cultural decline. However, the legacy of Rome did not die with the empire. The Byzantine Empire carried the torch of Roman civilization, preserving much of the knowledge and culture that would later inspire the Renaissance. The fall of the Roman Empire serves as a powerful reminder of the fragility of empires. It teaches us that no matter how mighty or enduring an empire may seem, internal division, economic collapse, and external threats can ultimately lead to its downfall. Today, the legacy of the Roman Empire still shapes our world in profound ways. From the languages we speak to the laws that govern us, Roman influence continues to endure. The rise and fall of the Roman Empire offer valuable lessons that continue to resonate in the modern world. So, could the Roman Empire have been saved? Perhaps, but the forces at play were far too great. Its decline was a complex process that unfolded over centuries. The fall of Rome remains a testament to the impermanence of even the greatest civilizations, and a reminder of the need for resilience, unity, and foresight in the face of adversity.